To my channel. Welcome to my Facebook page and our firm's Facebook page. I'm streaming live on three platforms today. On my own personal Facebook page, where a lot of my clients actually follow me, on the firm's Facebook official page. So, our firm's professional page, and on my YouTube channel for Shepelsky Law, where I make videos every week, a few actually a week, about immigration law, immigration news, the latest updates, what's going on with immigration politics in the United States, and anything that has to do with immigrants. Hi, welcome. I see people are joining. That's wonderful. I'm really happy to see. 8 people are watching now. Just to say it again, my name is Marina Shepelsky. I'm a New York-based immigration attorney, and our law firm works with all the 50 states. So if you live in Kentucky or Wyoming or Hawaii, we have a case in Alaska right now. Any of those places, California, Texas, we can work with you. We can help you. Welcome. Give us a call. We can help you if you have a legal problem with immigration. I'm saying hi to some of my followers. Mani Kumar, hello. Derobo King, hi. Parat Vikaria, hello. Derobo has a question. Go ahead, post it, ask. I will answer questions at the end. So let's get into it. This is my weekly immigration news show. Obviously Friday. This is a good day to do the news recap for the week. And of course, the biggest news this week is that, sort of unexpectedly for many people, the diversity lottery for 2023 has opened. It's working. It's live. It started October 6th at 12 p.m. If you have family or friends who live in countries that are allowed to file applications for diversity green cards, tell them to go find the website. I will post the website under my video. Actually, I'm gonna edit this post and I will post the link right now, and go to the official website. Do not use any agent or paralegal to help you. It's super easy. If you know how to use a computer, you can do this for yourself. This is the page. I'm going to post it right now. It has the instructions. It has everything on it, okay? So go right to the page and file. Let's talk about who is eligible and who isn't. There's a list of countries and you can find them online, but basically major countries like India, Bangladesh, Bangladesh, China, I'm sorry, I forgot China, Hong Kong, China, are not eligible. They're excluded. But there's good news, because if you were born in another country and your passport is from the excluded country, you could still be eligible. If your spouse is a citizen of a country that's allowed, or your spouse was born in a country that's allowed, you're eligible. Basically, you're eligible in many cases. So check it out. Go and check it out online. See the countries that are eligible and apply if you are eligible or if your family members are eligible. Don't miss this opportunity. I have many clients who are filing now for their relatives who won the green card in a diversity lottery. It's absolutely legitimate. It's run like a real lottery by our federal government, Department of State. And it's, if you are honest, if you don't lie about anything, you will win. Okay, so don't worry. If you're worried about it, don't worry. Apply and you can win. I know many people who won. All right, so that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to also tell you to be honest in the application, and we'll go through the application in a minute. But basically, you have to list all of your kids and your spouse and the whole information about you that includes your passport number and if you ever violated anything or anything like that. Okay. Now, if you've been in the United States before and you violated your status, you overstayed. So you went to the United States 10 years ago. You stayed for 3 years without status and you went home, you shouldn't apply. I'm telling you right now, you have very little chance of getting it. If you're in America out of status, you should not apply. Don't waste time or false hopes. If you filed for asylum before your status in the United States expired, like at the time when your visa was still good, your stay in the United States was still legal, and you filed for asylum, you have a chance to get it. You should participate. If you filed for asylum when those first 6 months of status that you had as a tourist expired already, if you already were an overstay when you filed for asylum, you probably won't get it. I'm telling you right now. They will not give it to anybody with violations, with crimes, anything like that, like anything major like that. They're probably not going to allow through, even if you win this lottery. But if you live somewhere else outside of America, if you're not from Canada, you're not from India, you're not from China, Bangladesh, or Nigeria, there's a list of countries who shouldn't apply. And you have no spouse, that makes you. So in other words, if you're from an allowed country, you should apply. And if you don't live here, you didn't violate your status, you didn't do any crimes, you should apply. You shouldn't have any problems getting it, basically, is what I'm saying. Okay? So you shouldn't use any intermediaries, paralegals, agents. Try to do this yourself. Try to spell your name correctly, the way it's spelled in your international travel passport that you have from your country. If you have like 10 names, pick the first 2 of your first name and the last 2 of your last name and put those in. Make sure all the information is correct and you can apply and you can win. Very important, you need to have a passport photo for this, for the diversity lottery, in a digital format. So you have to do this way ahead of time. Make sure you take a photo on a white background. It's a color photo, but it has to be white in the back, and you're kind of like this. Your bust, so it's like up until here, takes up from 50 to 69% of the screen, and you get the digital file for your picture. You save it in your computer, and you make it be the format that they want. You apply now. Do not wait until the last week. And by the way, this lottery will accept applications until November 9. November 9 at 12 p.m. is the last time they'll accept applications for Diversity Lottery 2023. Don't wait until November. Do it right now. Get the picture right now. Make sure you have your copy of the passport, your spouses, and your kids next to you. You have all of their pictures saved on your computer, and you can apply in one shot. It's not going to let you save any information and come back. Okay? So when you apply and you fill it out and you upload the picture, and by the way, if you're single, you have to put down that you're single. If you're married, you have to put down that you're married, even if you're not living with your spouse right now. If you're separated but not divorced, you have to list your spouse. The only exception to that is if your spouse is already a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, then you don't have to list them. But basically, if you're not divorced yet, you should list them. If you're divorced, you don't have to list them, and you should not list them, because then that would be lying. You can only list the person you are legally married to. And in your country, if you're allowed to be married to more than one woman and you have 3 wives, only the first wife will qualify. Okay, so your children should be listed, especially everybody who's under 21 and not married. Again, if one of your kids is a US citizen or green card holder, you don't have to list them. Once you finish with the application, you uploaded the application and all the pictures, wait. Right away, you should get on your screen the confirmation number, registration number you're receiving for the lottery. Print that out. Download your entire application, print that out. Save a copy of both on your computer, both the application and a PDF printout of your registration confirmation number. They will never email you or send you a letter if you win and they pick you, okay? If you get those kinds of emails, that's fraud. It's a scam. They're lying to you, whoever's trying to trick you. It's not the US government. The US government wants you to go on the computer on May 8, 2022, May 8, 2022, and anytime thereafter, and check if your number was selected. They will not email you, they will not call you, and they will not send you a letter. They expect you to monitor the situation, and you should be checking on May 8 and after of 2022 with your number in hand if your number was selected. If your number is like on the low side, and I'm talking about, let's say you got 3,842, you have a great chance of getting the green card. If your number is high, and I'm talking about like, let's say above 35,000, you might not get your green card, but you should still try. You don't know what number they're going to do. You don't know how quickly they're going to move. Apply. That's your only job. If you're eligible, just apply, do everything right, be honest with all the information, be correct with the spellings and everything. Like if one of your kids is older and wants to help you, let them, but don't pay anybody to do it. I see so many problems created when they get people from outside to help them for $50, and it turns into a nightmare because the person forgot to include one of your kids, the person didn't include your spouse, the person misspelled your name, and you win, but then they tell you, no, your application is wrong, it's fraud, you're not eligible. So there you go. Oh, thank you, my friend. Michael is posting this website. Yes, Michael, thank you. Mishka is posting. This is the correct website. Here it is. You can look at it on the bottom. And I did I edited the descriptions of these video posts, so you can see it there too. But this is right there on your screen. So diversity, and Mishka, your wife should apply. There's no reason why she shouldn't apply. Anyway, so diversity lottery is a program created by our government to get more people from countries that we don't have a lot of people from already here. It's gonna raise our cultural immigrant diversity. America is all about diversity. We love to have people from different countries, different backgrounds, different cultures, both ethnically and religiously, and even the countries here, so that we have a more diverse population. So countries like China and India already have a lot of people from those countries here. That is why they decided to statistically look at the numbers and exclude them. However, if you're from a small country and there's not a lot of people here from that country, you can participate in this lottery. They have 55,000 visas for 2023, which means you'll be able to come here as a green card holder, even though it's tricky. It says visas, but it's immigrant visas. Immigrant visas means, numbers for green cards, as far as you're concerned. And you'll be able to come here starting October 1, 2022. That's 1 year from now, even though, again, it's tricky that it's called Diversity Lottery 2023. but that refers to the fiscal or financial year that begins October 1 of the year that comes right before the year they name it with. So 2023 Diversity Lottery allows people to come as of October 1, 2022 to October 30th, 2023. And you usually have to get your visa anytime before the end of September 2022. If you didn't get a chance, they didn't schedule you for an interview, you're just out of luck. You're not going to come this year, participate next year. Okay, so I cannot say enough of this. If you know somebody who's eligible, or if you're eligible yourself, this is the real lottery, official from the Department of State, our federal agency that deals with immigration. Apply, put down correct information, and you'll be in good shape. I know many people who won green cards and now brought their families here, filed for their parents after they became citizens, and so on. So this is a lovely program. We don't file for people in our office because it's kind of simple. You should just be able to do it yourself. But I do want to talk about it because this is great immigration news this week, and it's going to change your life. I love America. I think if you come here with a green card through the Diversity Lottery program, you're going to love it too. So I'm continuing to say hello to people who are saying good morning. Natasha, hi. Wassam, hello. Ali, he's watching me from Chicago. Thank you for watching. Dorcas says hello. Mani Kumar has a question, which I will respond later, and some other people with questions. Okay, so I'm going to talk real quick about the topic I prepared for today that many of you probably will be interested in, and that's family petitions, right? So even though this seems simple enough, family alien relative petition, the form we use is I-130. Usually I'm talking about the I-130 petition. Who can use it? Who shouldn't use it? Who waits in line? Who doesn't? Okay, so the first priority is for people who are U.S. citizens filing for spouse or children under 21. They use the I-130 to legalize spouse and children under 21, whether those people live overseas or here. Those are two different processes. If your wife lives overseas and your husband, who's a citizen, filing for her, you will be using the consular processing. In other words, your wife will have to go do an interview in her country. If your wife is here, even if she's an overstay of her visa, she'll be able to get her green card through adjustment of status, and she'll be in good shape if there's no crimes or anything stupid going on. Now, that's obvious. The other category that doesn't have a line, and so this category doesn't have any line or anything you don't have to worry much about priority dates or anything like that. And one more is parents of U.S. citizens. They also are immediate adjustment eligible. They don't wait. They're in good shape. If you have a parent here who is an overstay, you just became a citizen, you can immediately file for them. It usually takes about a year to year and a half right now to get that parent green card, whether they're here or overseas. So we take that to the side. Now we're going to get into the categories, right? Our government, which is the U.S. Congress, decided that there will be categories of family relations. And depending on how, I guess, important they thought this category was to the family, those people have different waiting lines, okay? Different times that they have to wait to get their visa. And again, when we're talking about a visa, we're talking about an immigrant visa, and visa that allows you to come here and immediately get a green card as soon as you come in. You're a green card holder as soon as you cross the border. So we are talking about immigrant visas. When I want to know how long somebody who's going to file for their brother, U.S. citizen filing for a brother, has to wait, I go to this website called travel.state.gov, and I opened the current visa bulletin, and there's a new one every month, and that lists dates in each category that right now Department of State is working on issuing, right? So if your priority date, that's the date that they received your I-130 application, is, let's say, December 1, 2020, and you filed for your brother who is in, let's say, India. I look up and I know that siblings of US citizens, brothers and sisters of US citizens, is the very last category. It's category F4. And people from India, they are looking right now on petitions US citizens filed for a brother or sister in India on 15th of September 2005. So that means I would tell my client, hey, you filed in 2020, they're working on 2005, you have to wait another 15 years, 5 years. That's crazy, and I think it's insane that citizens filing for a brother or sister have to wait that long to be united with them. That's what our government decided, okay? Let's go quickly through the categories. The first category, F1, is adult, unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. That's kids over 21 who are single. So if your child, you're a U.S. citizen, and your child is 30 years old, and their child gets married, they get knocked out from this F1 category, and they move down to F3 category, which is married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. If you have a child, they're under 21, but they're eager to get married, and they get married, they get knocked out of anything that says child under 21, okay? Anyway, so the first category is adult unmarried children of U.S. citizens. Second category is divided into two parts. F2A is spouses and children of green card holders. That's children under 21. So if you're a green card holder and you're married, let's say your husband lives in France and he has the kids with them, the kids are teenagers, 15 or 16, that's category F2A. And miraculously, this category is current right now, which means, just like the thing I mentioned in the beginning, there's no wait. It's an immediate adjustment category right now. There's no line. The F1 I mentioned, the adult kids of daughters and sons of U.S. citizens, they have to wait like 6 years. So who decided that the category where adult kids of U.S. citizens have to wait for 6 years, but spouses of green card holders don't have to wait at all? I don't know, but it's crazy to me. Drop me a comment if you think it's crazy too. I'd like to hear your opinion. You could disagree with me, but who decided that kids over 21 are less important than spouses of green card holders? I don't know. Anyway, category F2B is unmarried adult sons and daughters of green card holders. F2B is about, they're working right now on 2015, okay? It's a 6-year wait. Then we move on. The third category, F3, is married children of U.S. citizens. And by the way, they get to come with their kids. So if you're a U.S. citizen and you file for your married daughter and she has kids and a spouse, they will come with her, okay? They're her derivatives. So that's really a benefit to being in these other categories. When you're not an immediate family category, the beneficiary, the person you're filing for, gets to bring their immediate family. But if you're filing as a U.S. citizen for a husband or wife or a parent, they don't get to bring their immediate family. So like if you are a U.S. citizen and you're filing for your mom and you might have a younger sibling, she doesn't get to bring the sibling. She comes herself and has to file for the sibling. Because if your sibling is going to be waiting for 14, 15 years for your petition, U.S. citizen file for a sibling, they will like go through half of their life already. So, we're always like trying to strategize, make good strategies for families, okay? So those are the categories. I mentioned the main things. Green card holders can only file for spouse and unmarried children. That's it. They cannot file for anyone else. U.S. citizens can file for spouse, for married children, for single children, for parents, and for siblings. Okay, so I think enough lecturing for today. I'm going to get to questions. And thank you for being patient. I know some of you only tune in to ask your question, and that's cool. I like that. I appreciate the fact that you want to hear my opinion. Before I get into it, I have to say this. Any information I give in these videos is in no way legal advice. I don't know all your information. I don't know you. If you want specific legal advice that's personal to you, and I can guarantee 100% that that's my opinion, is if you call us. The phone number is on the bottom, and you make a consultation, okay? But still, I'm going to give you some information answering your questions, okay? Let's go. Mani Kumar asks, what if your previous lawyer giving the trouble to sign a document in order to transfer to new lawyer? What should be done? There's some ways around it. So you could get something called FOIA, which is like the archive copies of anything you filed with a court in USCIS. And of course, your new lawyer can threaten them a little bit. I had this happen to me once, and the person was in immigration court. I made the immigration judge sign a judicial subpoena for the file, and then they had to give it over. But there are ways to do this. If you want help, get your lawyer, since it seems like you have a new lawyer, to call them and threaten them, write them a letter, talk to the court, maybe get a subpoena. They might not want to give the file because you owe them money. Sometimes they say, I have a lien on the file because the person owes the money, which means you can go around that. They should be able to give you copies from your file. They're not allowed by law to withhold it completely. They should be able to just give you a scan or a copy from your file. Dwight says, hi, good day. Where in FOIA it will show if a person misrepresent? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Oh, you mean like if you get your FOIA results, where it will show? You will see if the forms you filed before have information about your marriage, your arrests, like major information about your kids that has different information in some different forms you filed. So in 2003, you might have said you don't have kids, but then in 2005, you filed something saying your kids are 25 years old. So when did you lie? When you said you have kids or that you don't have kids? People always lie about their marriages and divorces. That's a common one. And they look at your forms to see if you misled them with anything you ever filed. And sometimes people try to get their visa records from the consulate, but it's really hard to get those. It's really hard to get them. They don't always release them to you, even if they have them. The Robo says, me and my friend just got married recently. We live in Mississippi. We want you to be our lawyer. If we submit our all paperwork to be filed, how long it takes to get a work permit? Hope you can help us. We'll be happy to help you. Phone number is on the bottom. I'm a little worried that you're saying my friend and I got married. I really cannot work with people who are not really married. I'm telling you right now, I don't have that kind of practice. We are busy. We don't need to work with fake marriages, first of all. But if your marriage is real and you're living together under the same roof as a family for love and to create a family together, we can certainly help you. The phone number is on the bottom of the screen. It's going to take you about 9 to 10 months sometimes to get a work permit and an advance parole if you're eligible. A person whose name I cannot read because it's not in English, but thank you for watching, says, hey, that's what I did when I signed up for a 9-month-old code. USCIS has begun working on your case again. I don't know what that means. Sorry. SW Striker says we need comprehensive immigration reform. I agree. I have friends in my home country that want to come here but can't. And there's people like me without status that have no way to get permanent green card. It's true. I agree with you. We do need comprehensive immigration reform because our system is freaking broken on every level. Even this ridiculous thing that I discussed with you about how if you are a single child of a U.S. citizen versus a child of a green card holder who's under 21, the wait times are so different. Like, who decided that? That makes no sense. This is just a tip of the iceberg. There's so much more going on that I can't even talk about. Okay, online revival prayer movement says, what about someone in the US but out of status for being overstayed? What can she do to enable her to invite her husband to visit her? Not much, because you don't have any status to be here. So you're really not in the position to invite the husband. You can ask a friend of yours to invite them. But, you know, frankly, you'd have to like not mention that they're doing it for you, which is sort of a lie. So I don't know. Natasha says, hi, I received my approval I-485 letter over 45 days now, but still did not receive my green card as yet. How long does it take to receive your green card after approval? Congratulations, first of all. You got the main part. You got approved. You got the I-485 approved, which means you're already right now in status of a green card holder. You have permanent resident status. It might take a few more weeks to get your green card because everything is super delayed right now due to COVID. But maybe it got lost. What you should do is go on uscis.gov, check your case status, type in the receipt number for the I-485, and see if anything new is showing up. When they mail your card, the status of the case changes, and it's going to say card mailed and give you a tracking number so you can track with the U.S. Post Office where your card is. If it says your card was delivered and you never received it, you'll have to replace it. We move on. Nothing is new for I-130, the person from Ethiopia. Hello. Family-based, any news in Senate? There's not much news right now in Senate. Oh, my stomach is making weird noises. Jack says, I have been looking at data sources from different service centers, and Texas Service Center is very, very slow in processing employment-based I-485s. What do you think may be the reason for this delay? They're super overwhelmed. The Texas Service Center is, I think, our biggest service center. There's so many people they're servicing, and COVID has slowed them down. I don't think they can work with as much staff anymore because of COVID. So there's a lot less people at a time doing the work, and the work hasn't decreased. It's the same. So that's why it's taking so long. Hello, Marina, says Jack. Are you looking, or are you taking any only Facebook immigration questions? No, I guess I'm only taking the questions that I'm seeing on my screen, and maybe they're only coming from Facebook. I'm doing this through StreamYard. I don't know if there's questions on, let me check. I'm going to check if there's comments on my YouTube channel that I'm not seeing here. Thank you for asking, Jack. Here's my YouTube. Give me a sec, you guys. I'm checking. Okay. And right now, I don't see any comments. I guess I'm not seeing any comments right now on the YouTube. Maybe it's not letting people comment. That's weird. I don't know why. Let me double check. I don't know, maybe I didn't do something when I was setting this up that people can ask on YouTube this time. I'm sorry. But no, I see people from YouTube. Here's Jack. He's from YouTube. Here's Angel, CJ. Hi. So Angel's question is, hi, I'm an American citizen. I petitioned for my daughter over 21 here in the U.S. her papers are current already. Is it possible to change status, but she's overstayed here in the U.S.? If you could do the waiver, Angel, it's possible. But for the waiver, you have to show that you have hardship if your daughter can't legalize here. It's usually one of those I-601A or just I-601 waiver, and you can quote to see if you're eligible, but it's usually for the situations where the U.S. citizen family members would be severely harmed if they had to go back to join the daughter in her country. That's the standard. Mani says, thank you for responding to my question. You're welcome. You're welcome. What else is here? Oh, SW Striker says, I have a question regarding dreamers. I came to the States and overstayed due to my parents' decisions to immigrate without anything. I hear you. I entered the U.S. at 17. So you wouldn't qualify for the DACA program because DACA says you had to have been under 16. But sadly, you were still under 18 and had no choice in the matter. We're waiting to see if maybe something will come out for dreamers that's more inclusive than DACA. But it hasn't happened yet. Stryker also says, I am scared any new dreamer legislation often includes only people who came to the States before turning 16, what I just mentioned. Why not 18? Makes no sense. I don't know why. And do you think there will be a positive outcome for this in the next year or so? I think so, but I'm not sure that they will have the courage to go beyond what DACA from Obama came out as. In other words, they might make the same kind of law for DACA, permanent law for dreamers. I'm not sure if it's going to go beyond the age of 16 or any wider than it is now. I don't know. I don't know. That's the answer. Winter says, I was just wondering why it took my I-130 approval around 5 years to be approved, but others is just around a year or two. Because you probably had a category that's not very quick or current. So they know that this, even if the I-130 is approved quickly, you'd still have to wait for years and years. So your petition was pushed to the bottom of the pile, and the other petitions that are in quicker categories for visas were moved to the top. So that explains why it took so long. Shanique Lauren says, good afternoon. How long after receiving the social security number through VAWA do I get a work permit? I'm not sure. When did you file? Why is it that you got the social security number first before the work permit? There's a lot of questions here. But just generally speaking, from the date you file the work permit form, the form I-765 for employment authorization. In my experience, people first do biometrics, fingerprints within 3 to 4 weeks, and then wait another between 6 to 10, even 11 months for the work permit sometimes. So the countdown begins from the date of them receiving your form I-765, and I don't know how long you've been waiting, but let's say you've been waiting for 6 months, you can wait another 3 to 5 months, okay? Approximately. And again, I'm just guesstimating, but this is just from my experience. Mariana Strageos says, hi, Marina. What is the difference between an I-765 and I-765V? You know what? I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. And that's what I do with my computer. Okay. So, interesting question. I-765V is a special work permit for spouses of abused non-immigrant holders. It's like a bunch of words, but what does it mean? If your spouse, like if your husband, Mariana, has the H-1 work visa, has an E visa, has like a diplomat visa. It's not an immigrant visa. It's a non-immigrant visa. Non-immigrant visa holders are temporary in the United States for work usually, okay? Work or something like that. And they abuse you, and they won't, I guess, make you, they won't support you, they won't help you. You can file for the work permit on your own using this I-765V. This is what you need to provide: evidence that you are the spouse of the non-immigrant visa holder. Your ID and a copy of your passport, a copy of your spouse's non-immigrant visa, evidence that you were living with them, that it wasn't like a fake marriage. So joint bills, joint bank statements, joint tax returns, evidence of the abuse. It's kind of like VAWA, what we do, except your spouse is not a citizen. A spouse is just like a work visa holder. 2 identical pictures, like passport size pictures. And that's it. That's all you need to provide to file. The instructions are online, so you could take a look. But basically, here it lists the kind of visa holders whose spouses can file for this. And that's A, non-immigrant, E3, G, and H. So those, if you had an H visa, H1, H1B. If you have a G, that's the diplomat visa. If you had the E3 or A, you can file for this. If your husband had one of those categories, you're eligible. Aziz says, my case still at the Board of Immigration Appeals since 21st of 2020. No decision yet. May 21. Some of my clients are waiting 3 years in the Board of Immigration Appeals. Board of Immigration Appeals is also very delayed. They're taking at least 3 years right now to process cases. Can I petition for my wife, who is legally here in U.S. with my 10 years permanent 10-year green card? Yes. If she is legally here and you have a permanent green card, you can file after she's been here for 90 days. Usually I tell my clients to wait 90 days. I wouldn't file before the 90 days. But yes, absolutely, you can do it. Winter says, attorney, have you heard about some I-130 applicants received here their welcome letter too early before their priority days become current? Why was that? I have seen all kinds of mistakes made by USCIS. We have a guy this week who filed for citizenship. When he went for his citizenship, they discovered he got his green card by mistake. USCIS, made the mistake and he has to pay. There's no reason. People make mistakes. There's no actual legitimate reason why USCIS makes mistakes. The only explanation is that there's human beings working there, human error. You always have to account for that. Foday JM Back Aries says, hi, my IR1 interview, that's a spouse interview, is on 14th this month. All paperwork was done by my wife in the States. A friend just asked me about my welcome letter. I don't know if I might need it for the interview. No, you don't need a welcome letter for the interview. This is ridiculous. What welcome letter? You would only get the welcome letter if you're doing adjustment of status in the United States. So don't worry about it. Did you see the protesters and reporters that came up the Senate cinema? Oh yeah, they got her in the bathroom about the immigration reform. Do I think that that's the correct thing to do, or that it would lead to desirable results? I do not think it was the right thing to do. But I think people are so desperate to see some change that they were willing to track this woman down in the bathroom. Do I approve of it? No, I think it's incorrect, and I don't think it would have gotten any results. I just think for myself, okay, if I, Marina Shepelsky, became a senator and I went to the bathroom to do my business, we're all human. Even presidents go to the bathroom. Senators are no exception. I go to the bathroom. And I'm in the bathroom, and some people like basically it would feel like they gang up on me in the bathroom, and they come up and start to argue serious political things with me about immigration reform. I would probably want to do the opposite of what they're asking. I'm saying personally, me, and I don't think this was the right tactic. On the other hand, I can understand immigration advocates who want people like, like you guys who are saying you were brought here at 17 and you still haven't legalized. People who are paying taxes, who are not leaving, they're not criminals, they want to get legalized, and it's going nowhere, and nobody wants to fix this problem. That I understand, okay? But I personally do not think it was the right thing to do. I think we're going to end it here. It's been 45 minutes that I've been on the air. I hope you guys found this useful. Thank you for watching until the end. I appreciate my followers who are watching. Sign up, become a subscriber to our channel. I post videos a few times a week about immigration news, immigration cases, how to prepare for green card interview, how to win your asylum case, how to win your VAWA case, a lot of other things, mostly about family immigration. But once in a while, we also help people with O1, extraordinary ability visas. We help people with the national interest waiver cases. So if you have anything like that, we also can help. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday with more immigration news, and they'll definitely happen because immigration is a really hot topic and a huge social issues in this country of immigrants. Bye-bye.